Welcome to the masterclass, beautiful ones. If you're hopping on, catching the replay, I'll be waiting here for a couple moments until we have some amazing humans live with us. Oh, I see, and they already are ready. Say hey when you get here so I can engage and really be with you. This is going to be an engaging live. Hi, Jewel. Hi, Kate. Thank you for the hearts. Ooh, we have 24 so far. Great start. Watching from Canada. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Cassidy. Oh my goodness. Loves, it's so funny because right now and before this live, I got this internal feeling of when I used to do lives for the first time. Have any of you never done a Facebook Live? Hi, Hannah. Hi, Sophie. Oh, so good to feel each one of you. Alishina in the house. Hello from Maine. Beautiful. Hi, Beauty. Yeah, so has anyone never done a Facebook Live before? Because the feeling that I had for the last hour was the feeling that I used to have when I first started. Hi, Hemi. Hi, Jessica. So excited everyone's here. Oh my goodness. So much energy. Okay. Okay, everyone here and all of the energy is starting to flush the nervousness, right? Because that's really what I was feeling, which is so wild because I do lives often. Hey, Alyssa. Alyssa, like, kept her Facebook for this, I think. Hi, Hannah. Wow. Okay. So has anyone never done a Facebook Live? I've never done a Facebook Live. Right. So yeah, I used to get this like, it's almost like an anxiousness inside of my chest and this rising feeling of like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Because we're live right now, right? What's going to happen? And as I was actually preparing for this masterclass, it's like Spirit wouldn't really let me prepare, and I'm finding more and more as I launch and lead and guide, Spirit is asking me to like get out of my own way and just show up. So that's also one of those feelings of like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen right now, but I'm here and we're doing this, and I do have planned something really incredible for you to teach you all of the tools so that you can call in a huge freaking audience for yourself. And deeper than that, like, it doesn't even matter how huge it is, what you're really asking for. Hi, Andrea, love. Mwah. So what you're really asking for is engagement, like an engaged audience, right? Because if there were 92 people here right now, which there are, and growing, yay! Welcome to everyone who's coming in. If there were 95, okay, if there were 95 people here and no one was feeling super turned on, inspired, engaged, or like they wanted to write and be a part of the community experience, it'd be like, okay, cool, but who am I really speaking to, right? Like what's really happening here? So if you all see people who have very large audiences, whether that's on Instagram or their Facebook page or wherever it is, know that doesn't always mean that they are making money, successful, that they are somewhere ahead of or anything like that, because it's not necessarily about how many people there are, but how engaged and inspired and activated they are, right? So raise your hand if you're engaged or inspired or activated or something in there. 113 of you here live, 114, and I didn't even send an email out to my list. Yeah, I'm feeling blessed and just super grateful to be here and to get to share these tools with you. So we're gonna get into that. So, okay. So first, I want everyone who's here live or anyone who's joining for the replay, I want everyone to put their next level number for how many people they want in their space. Brittany says, so engaged, so inspired, so activated. Yes. So what is your next level number? And by next level, I don't mean the furthest level, like the deepest level, if this is the best 2 million. No, I'm asking you, what is your next level number, right? What is that next quantum level leap that if you had that number amount of people following you, it would be like that internal activation. Wow, they're here. Wow, they're following. Wow, they're engaged, right? Hannah currently at 18,000, would love to get to 20K, 1,000, 10K, 1,000, cool. So everyone's at different levels with their numbers. And I want this piece to land that it's actually not about the number. It's not about getting to the 5K or getting to the 10K or getting to the 50K. It's actually about where you're at and what is your next level leap. What is your next level jump? What is the most resonant to you, right? And we don't look at numbers in the energetic sphere, and when we're looking into the manifestation realms, we don't look at numbers in a space of, if I don't get that, I'm not worthy. Or until I get that, I won't be in my power. But we do look at it from a space of, okay, that's what's coming. I'm gonna get so excited about the fact that I get to serve that many people. I get to show up for that many people. How exciting is that, right? So for everyone who's joining live right now, we're talking about our next level leap in terms of numbers. 20K, 10K, 30K, 2K. Beautiful, beautiful. So we're getting specific here. Cool. So then, okay, then let's go a level deeper, right? So if you want this amount of people, right? So for me, it's 40K on my Instagram. When I think about that, I'm like, ooh! And I actually, okay, so last night I could not sleep. And this usually happens when I have a lot of energy running in my system, and I was just getting downloads and downloads and downloads about this masterclass all night. And something in me told me to make a post celebrating my 40K now, even though it's not here, because I know it's coming. And that's how we manifest, right? That's how we really call things in, call people in, call our visions and our desires into our space, is we know 100%. No part of me is in fear. This is happening. So when all of you are sharing your numbers right now, give me now a percentage. From 0% is pretty much, I don't believe that I can get that number at all. 100% is, I know 100% it's coming. I know 100% it is already here. It's already manifest. I'm tuning into the future and I'm pulling it in now, and I see it all. It's very clear. It's very, very clear. It's happening, and I'm going to do what it takes to get there. So 50% is I flip-flop, right? 50% would be 50% of the time I am so there. I am so there. It's so happening, right? And 50% of the time I don't think so. 50% of the time who am I to lead? Who am I to have that many people in my space? I see a lot of 100s, which is really great, and we want more 100s. And if I'm being honest with myself, I'm not 100% every single second of every single day. And that's probably why I'm so successful in this realm, because in manifestation, is because I can be, and I want you all to be honest. if you're not honest with your everyday, every moment, and I'm not saying any of you who said 100 are not feeling 100, because in this moment, you're probably feeling 100% yes, right? In this energy, in this vibe, you feel it. It's like, it's here, right? And what happens during the day? What happens after this? What happens after you eat a little too much? What happens after you make love to your partner and it was just weird and awkward? What happens, what happens when you get on an enrollment call and they don't sign up with you? What happens when you launch a program and only 2 people sign up? What happens when you make a post and only 3 to 30 whatever people in your number range like it? So, Starlin LOL, I said 147%, but there are still moments I'm more 40. Yeah. And that honesty is really important, because we want to be able to actually catch ourselves in these things, right? We want to be able to lovingly catch ourselves in those moments and bring awareness to it and work with it. It's so epic to have so many of you here. All right, so going a layer deeper, why do you want all of the followers? Why? What's the point? What happens when you have 5,000? What happens when you have 50,000? What does it do for you when you have that manifest in your life? Because we want to understand what your actual desires are here. If it's actually to get that many people's eyes on your work, then great. And let's be honest, is it to have your courses fill up so that there's over 20 people inside and the energy's really alive inside of your courses, right? Because it's really easy to say, I want this many people to share my work. Bigger impact. And yeah, see, so many of you are like, bigger impact, which is so blissful and incredible that there are so many of you. I mean, all of you are here because you are bringing activation, healing, and liberation to this planet in one way or another. So you want to touch more people's lives. Okay. But can you be a little selfish for a moment? Because everyone's so nice and sweet and speaking about it's like heart chakra, right? It's my heart's desire to impact more people. But what else? I mean, okay, let me be honest. I want more eyes on me. I want to be seen. I want more and more people in my programs. I want to make a shit ton of money. I want to buy my own house that I absolutely love, right? It's like, okay, everyone who is feeling their heart's desires for more people, bring that energy down to your pussy, to your sacral, and breathe in what's there. Like, what's in there? What's in there? What's in your lower desire? Because they're all important. And if you only resonate from your heart space, I want to serve, it's likely not balanced with the other aspects of your being. And you get to want all of it. Right? You get to want your darker desires, and dark not meaning bad or wrong or shadow or shameful, dark meaning like lustful, because that's part of you, that's part of us. It feels great for the ego. It feels amazing to be seen and to make money. And probably every spiritual teacher will say that it's not our job to transcend the ego. We're not trying to get away from the ego. We're not trying to go, okay, get out. I'm just going to be a pure angel. I'm just going to be an angel. And everyone's going to come to me. Because guess what? You actually become more magnetic when you honor your sacral's desires, when you honor your pussy's desires. Think of it like this. You're dating a new person, but you're completely shut off from your desires around pleasure and sex and like love and intimacy, sexual intimacy. But you're just thinking about kids and love and having a house, like marriage and all here. You're not going to be that magnetic, because a king or a queen is attracted to a integrated being that is in full ownership and awareness and aliveness around what it is they truly desire on all of the levels, right? So we want to be real with the fact that we want tantric sex, but we also want to be spanked on our ass sometimes. You might not want that, but I think I'll speak for myself and whoever else that resonates with, right? We're all of it. We're all of it. So you get to tune into that deeper desire as well. That's purely for you. And that one brings so much inspiration. That one brings so much power to you to move forward, right? That one brings so much for you to get through the fear of showing up the way that you're being asked to show up. Because likely, if you want more followers, likely if you want more people seeing your work, more people in your space, right? You also want to, I just lost my words because we had a choke me please comment. Okay. Okay, where was I? Someone's gonna have to remind me. Oh, right. So, so likely, right? Likely if you want more people around your work, more people around your space, more people seeing you, you also want more people seeing the real you, seeing the integrated you. We don't need any carbon copies of what a health coach looks like, or what a sex coach looks like, or what a relationship coach looks like, because people are attracted to your energy. People are attracted to your vibe. People are attracted to your truth. People are attracted to what moves through you, your natural beingness. And if all of you is like, oh, I'm just here to serve and I'm so happy that I'm serving, but you're not actually connected to all the other pieces, both your darker desires and also your fears and also your chaos and also your emotion, all of it is you. All of it is part of your magnetism and your attraction field, right? Nicole says, I need to learn how to navigate my life leading from my integrated self. So yeah, it's the first thing that you can do is connect to the different parts of your being and feel fucking everything. Feel everything. Every time you push a feeling or an emotion away, you're becoming less and less integrated. Every time you say, yep, okay, this is here. Fuck, I don't want to feel this, but it's here. Oh, okay, I'm willing to feel this. You become more integrated, right? You become more integrated because you're actually facing what's there. All right. So, okay, cool. So before we get into the six pieces that I'm going to teach you in terms of what you can do to turn your magnetism on for your people, for your audience, to grow your audience so that you can both receive your personal desires and your desire to impact more and serve the world. What's very clear, and I did a post about this yesterday, but the algorithm is you. So we've all, who here has not heard post every day, or share like this, or make images like that, or do like the sort of structure around what you should do, none of it will work if you're not feeling yourself. None of it works if you're not feeling yourself. So if you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to create all this content and I'm going to block it off, but you're not really feeling it, and then you're still doing it anyways, and then you're posting it because someone told you to, you're carrying all of that energy. You're carrying all of that energy of this is what I should do, which is what women have been taught for centuries. Do what you're meant to do. Do what a good girl does. Do what a nice girl does. Do what a sweet girl does. Do what a professional woman does. We're flicking it away. And it's not that structure and discipline is not important, because trust me, it is. Trust me, it's very, very, very important. But the energetics behind it have to be in the right place, right? The energetics behind it have to be in the right place, and then it all fits into its spaces, right? It all fits when you it's like the puzzle pieces go in and everything just starts clicking, and you start getting it once the background pieces are in alignment. So you're not in your mind anymore going, okay, well, this is what I'm supposed to do for this, and this is the marketing for that. And that might work for some people, but likely if you're here, it's not really flowing for you because you want it to feel more fluid, because you want it to feel more pleasurable, because you want it to feel good, because it's your lifestyle, because your business is not just this thing that you go to, it's you, right? I mean, if you're really in this for the big game to impact more, you're really in it for a personal transformation journey, fully and completely, of really emitting your fullest frequency. Emitting your fullest frequency for all of the world to see. Right? And that's deep work. And of course, it wants to feel better. It wants to feel more pleasurable. It wants to feel less boxed in, right? Yep, I want it to feel more pleasurable. You are your business. Yeah. So how many people say, how do I ask this? Okay, does the statement, I am my business, does that inspire you or does that scare you? Type inspire or scare. I just want to know where everyone's sitting, where everyone's landing right now. Oh my gosh, it inspires me so much, because I know that the more I grow and the more that I evolve and the more that my system unlocks itself, the more I clear up any trauma, the more I do my own personal work, the more my body comes into more harmony, etc., 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 right? Hannah says both, right? Right? Because there's this element of, yes, that's so inspiring, and also to be seen in that way is big, right? That's big work, right? And you don't have to have a business in that way. I just want everyone to be clear that you choose how you want to be and how you want to show up. And if you want to have a brand and you're not really the face of it, and I don't even know how that works, because that's not my domain, right? Because for me, everything's moving through me and it's coming through me and it's part of me, and everything that I'm learning on my journey is a part of my business, a part of my work, a part of my own growing, and so it's a part of yours, right? So all of you who are here and getting this transmission, you're a part of 10 years of personal development, and I wouldn't want to have a business where I would have to cut that off from what it is I'm sharing. So you get to choose, like you really get to choose if that is your journey. And deeper than that, your soul chooses, right? And yeah, your soul chooses. Your soul chooses, because you can try and think about it in your brain. What do I want? What is the path for me? Versus a deeper knowing of what is being asked of me. And that's really that's really the core of all of this, is getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to that deeper inner knowing that just knows the way, that just knows the path. Alyssa, so if I'm only my business, then that makes my emotions too tied to it, and that could be unhealthy. Makes sense? Yeah, so the way that you can start working with that is allowing, it's allowing your emotions to inspire you actually into greater and greater forms of your business. And if, like, for me, learning emotional intelligence has been one of the most important lessons attached to my business growth, because I see it all as holistic. So I don't have an emotion and then just lay down and feel it all the time, all day, and delete what I was gonna do. But I do give myself a portal, a space to go into it and then come out on the other side, right? 161 viewers, right? So it's not that my emotions dictate my business, not at all, but it's that my emotions are a part of me, and so it's my work, it's my love, it's my duty, it's my excitement, even if it's hard sometimes to never turn them away, because then they get stuck in my body. So I go into them, but that doesn't mean that my emotions are deciding what my business is, right? Okay, so we're going in a little bit. We're going so far. So just so everyone knows, I have no time limit here, because it's my desire to land all of the things that I want to land. So if you can stay on and if you can be here, you are loved. And if you can't, you are also loved, but I wish you stay. Okay. All right, we're gonna go into the mind mastery. So we're gonna go into mind mastery and then heart mastery and then pussy mastery in terms, and we're gonna give you 2 different pieces to focus on for each. So the first tool, right? The first tool to grow your audience is to know that your unique message, your unique vibration, your unique self is necessary in the world. Absolutely necessary, with no other option. With no other option. I remember when I was first starting my business, it was coming from a place of, I want to do this, and this is coming through me, and I want to be expressed, and I want to help people. But I remember there being this sort of sense that it was helpful, and it was beautiful, and it was, for the people that saw it, it was good, but I didn't fully allow myself to ground in that it is absolutely necessary. It is 100 zillion million % necessary for the people who come in contact with my words, with my videos, with my message. It's necessary. No matter if it's a yoga pose, or it's a sexual release practice, or it's a dance video, or it's your food, or it's you channeling codes about money. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you know that you are a necessary part of humanity's evolution, and that you take that seriously. That you take it seriously, because the moment you let it slide, the moment you don't take it seriously, the moment you allow your brain to go, oh, well, it doesn't, other people are doing it, right? That one's so big. There's so many other people doing what I'm already doing, so why would they need me? There's so many other people that are teaching this, why would I need to teach it? It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to your people, and it's a lie. It's a lie, 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 it's a lie. It's a lie. So I want everyone to close their eyes for a moment if you can, if you're not driving or anything. Put a hand on your heart and another hand on your belly. And say out loud to yourself, to the inner knowing, to your inner being, my message is so needed. My message is so needed. The messages that come through me are so needed in this world. Nobody can transmit what I am here to transmit but me. Nobody can transmit what I am here to transmit but me. That's it. No other options. And I promise to listen. I promise to listen to you. 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 Good. And then open your eyes when you're ready. Just a really simple grounding of that concept, right? That you are so needed, that you are so necessary. And when you hold that peace, your message changes. Because if you know that people need you and that you are a very necessary part of this whole piece and this whole puzzle of life, right? Full body goosebumps the whole time. That made me emotional. I love you, Shay. Oh. If you know, oh, I'm crying. Oh, yeah. If you knew that, how would you wake up in the morning? What would be your inspiration, right? What would come through you? It's different. If you don't really believe, really think that you are necessary, you might share a little thing that's like, what am I trying to say? The tone of your voice, the frequency of your energy, everything that gets communicated out from you shifts. When you know that no one else can say it like you. Everyone has chills and is shaking. Yeah. Nobody can do it the way that you can, right? And for those of you who know your message and you know the thing that's moving through you, and for those of you who are feeling confused, feeling like it's shifting, feeling like you can't quite pick, just start reaffirming to yourself that you are needed, that your energy is needed, and it will start coming through. A lot of times we try and think our way to who our next level soulmate client is and who we're speaking to and who our message is for, before we simply allow ourselves to know, my message is needed. I'm going to sink into that. I'm going to open myself. I'm going to listen to the messages that are coming through me. I mean, seriously, raise your hand with an emoji or a word or a poem or whatever you want to do. If you're hearing things and you're like, oh, maybe other people would need to know that. And usually it's the thing that is so easy for you. Usually it's the thing that comes naturally and you tell yourself, no one needs to hear that. No one needs to learn how to forgive themselves. I mean, what? Everyone knows that. No. And not only does probably the whole planet, I'm just going to go off this example, need to know how to forgive themselves if that's what's coming through you, but we need to know how in many different ways, because one way is not going to resonate for everyone. So that's the thing. It's like, has anyone ever shared tools for organic audience growth? Yes. And I need to know that nobody is doing it this way, with this transmission, with my body, with my energetic awareness and everything that I'm passing through, with all of my sexual activation. No one is bringing through it in this way, just like this. Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So glad everyone's feeling that one. The second one is super juicy. The second one is write, speak, and act as if they were already there. All of the followers, so everyone who you said, the 5,000 or the 20,000 or the million that you said in the beginning of this video, they're already there. This is a continual mental shift that you have to keep up with and be really, really aware of what voices are going on inside of your brain on a regular, everyday basis. So when you act as if they were already there, again, the frequency that you emit shifts and how you hold space shifts. So for example, let's say you were going to create a group coaching experience for 10 people and then only 6 joined. Do you still hold space as if there were the 10 people there? And what I mean by holding space is holding space within your body, within your womb, within your system, that the way that you speak, the way that you communicate is the same as if all of these people were there. So if only 2 people showed up to this live today, could I give this same transmission because I have the bigger awareness of where I'm going? So this is really, really big, especially if you're at the 500 to 5,000 numbers on Instagram, etc., because it's really easy to see those numbers and to compare yourself and to go, no one's here, no one really likes me, or whatever the story is, and then to show up for that many people. Right? To show up for, okay, I have 1,000, I'm going to show up as if I had 1,000. Well, if you're doing that, you're not manifesting and you're not in your vision. You're not in the where you're going. You're just keeping yourself where you are right now. So always look to where you're going next as guidance for you for how to show up in the now. Because for those of you who said like your next level is 1,000, right? Or your current is 1,000 or whatnot, I want you to imagine before you go to bed at night, 2,000. Just hop 1,000. Just imagine 1,000 more, and you can apply this to wherever you're at. Just imagine. What if it's YouTube, if it's Instagram, if it's Facebook, whatever your platform is, just lay down and imagine that number shifting. And figure out how you wake up in the morning. Figure out what shifts, right? Figure out what shifts when even your mind is just at least a little bit believing that you have that many people with you. When you have more people following you, more people seeing you, there's more information, the field opens up more, but you can do that yourself, right? When you imagine it to be there. And then you start acting as if they already were there. This is super important. I know it's simple. I know a lot of you already know this code. I know a lot of you have already heard the act as if thing, and it's a big part of a manifestation practice is to act as if it already exists. But I really want everyone, it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million or 1 million followers or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what's on the outside. If you want to grow, whenever you want to grow, you always are looking at, okay, where do I want to be? And how do I act? How can I believe inside of my system that that already exists? And would that inspire me? So for everyone here, what do you think would change in your day-to-day life, in the way that you film, in the way that you talk, in the way that you are, if they are already existed there? So if you already had the 5,000 or the 10,000, etc., what would shift? Because you have to start doing those things now. Would you be dancing on camera? Would you be talking less? Would you have better boundaries? Would you be answering everyone's messages that came through on Instagram? Would you be more consistent with posting? Would you share a podcast once a week? Do what you want to do when you have those followers now. I would show up and stand taller, right? I would be more confident about what I had to say, and so then I would say it with more grace and ease and pleasure, right? Brittany would be so boundaried. Yep. The more my audience grows, the more necessary that is. Produce way more content, only do what I want to do. I would offer more classes. Okay, I literally would never wear an underwear or bra. Yeah. Yep. That's the flow, everyone. So why do you wear an underwear or a bra now? What is that? No more. Right? This is a perfect example. Why not imprint it now? Because it's all happening already. It's all happening. If you know it's coming, then do it now. Okay. Okay, so now heart mastery. We're going into our heart mastery piece. The third piece for the growing your audience organically from an energetic perspective is to show up to serve, not to sell or to seduce to sell. Anytime you're showing up because that's going to bring sales in, your energy's off. I literally don't care if anyone purchases what I'm going to offer after this call. I'm here because I want you to fully receive this. And it's my pleasure to be here. It's what came through me. I was so excited to offer this. And when you don't, okay, so here's the thing. When you actually truly do not need money anymore because you have hundreds of thousands inside of your bank account, this show up to serve actually starts landing, but you have to actually download the code into your system now before the money's there, because that's how the money comes. So it's a paradox, but right? So when you don't need the money, you don't need to show up. And so why do people who are already super fulfilled financially continue to show up? They show up to serve. They show up because it's their expression. They show up because there's an inner knowing that's pushing them forward. They show up because it's an excitement, right? They show up because it's their soul asking them to do it. They show up because they're just getting that nudge and because it's spirit moving through. And so you get to learn how to show up in that way, even though you want money or quote unquote need money. But I really want everyone, and this is something I teach inside of my courses, but you got to switch out of the I need money mentality completely in this industry. If you're coming from an I need money mentality, you're coming from scarcity, you're coming from lack, and you're coming from you're coming from a victim, a child place, right? A child archetype that's, I need money, so I'm going to offer this because I need money. It's felt like that's felt in the energetics, even if it's subtle, even if people aren't super intuitive, even if they're regular, whatever, all of us here can feel. And so we better start feeling ourselves. We better start feeling where we're coming from. So where we're coming from in posting, where we're coming from in actually creating offers. We have to be really adamant with ourselves on this, on the energetic perspective. If we want to grow fast, if we want to make a lot of money fast, if we want to have fast quantum leaps, right, into what we want. How do you remind yourself not to be scared? Not to be scared of what? Well, I'll just say this. I am scared. I'm scared a lot. No, I'm not scared. But I do have fear of showing up and showing myself in different phases of my being and different vulnerable pieces. And fear, fear is not something that you're wanting to get over and never experience again. It's something that you want to befriend. And so if you are afraid to invite someone into an offering and pay the amount and charge the amount that you want, it's not that one day that's going to completely go away, because you're always going to be up leveling. You're always going to be growing into new levels of abundance, new offers, new packages. And so yes, it gets a lot easier over time because it becomes a natural part of your being. It becomes a part of who you are. It becomes your lifestyle. It becomes the thing that you've done over and over and over again, to the point where you've done 30 Facebook Lives, this is my experience, or more, etc. But still, right before, there might be that fear. And that's okay. We get to learn how to work with our emotions and the sensitivities and use them to our advantage. Okay, I'm catching up on your comments. Okay, cool. We're caught up. Okay. Right, so you're showing up to serve, not to sell. And the deepest place of service is showing up to be of service to you. Because you can't serve anyone else if you're not serving yourself. You can't serve anyone else if you're not serving yourself. If we're talking on an energetic perspective, okay, here you are giving all of this free stuff, come into my coaching container for $100 or whatever it is. You're just kind of giving yourself away. And here's this other person on the other side of that taking that. That is a codependent experience, energetic exchange, where both people are not feeling full after the exchange. That is not creating more liberation on the planet. What creates more liberation on the planet is when the energetics are aligned. That really has gotta land. Like, what creates more liberation and awakening on the planet is when the energetics are aligned. If they're not aligned, then there is the energetics are, how can I say this in another way? It's an unequal, an imbalanced portal of space that's taking up space on the planet. If we want to be the healers, the light workers, the energy workers, the astrologers, the nutritionists, all of the things, like, if we want to be who we came here to be, if we want to be the transformational leader that we came here to be, we have to do the thing that is going to uplift and unravel ourselves and show up in the highest service to us. And when you have that mentality of I'm showing up to serve for my people, but I'm more so and even deeper, I'm showing up to show myself who I really am and that I can be what I feel that I am. No, this is still number 3, but hey, tangent maybe, I don't know. It's just happening. It's number 24 because that's my favorite number, or 42 because that's also my favorite number, or 224 or 442. Okay, now we're gonna go on to 4 though. So, okay. So number 4 is let showing up for your soulmate clients be a pathway to God or to the divine. Let showing up for your soulmate clients be a pathway to God or to the divine or to love. Okay? I feel all of you, and not just your soulmate clients and who's you're gonna work with one-on-one, but who your message is for, who you're showing up for, who you're activating, who you're having in your sphere, right? I feel you all when I do medicine work. I feel you all when I do emotional release. I feel you all when I meditate. My connection to my people, to my tribe, to my soulmate clients is that of I am with you in this experience, and when I allow my channel to open, it's opening for me and it's opening for you. And I am here to bring in those messages for me and for you. Right? And that is such a sacred path, such a sacred journey, such a sacred experience to really be showing up for not only yourself, but for so many humans. And it's a path of awakening. It's a path of transformation. And whether your business is direct transformational work, or you want your business to be direct transformational work, or you have another business, it doesn't matter. The people that are affected by or from your product or your offering or your energy, those are like you're calling those people in to be a part of your experience. So this is a good example. If you're like, okay, I'm gonna create a jewelry company, but you're not connected to who's gonna actually buy the jewelry and why they need it, how it's just a business. Where's the heart? And so the heart space really deeply comes in when you can feel, okay, so these are my people. And if you don't know who your people are, that's okay, and we can talk about that at the end of this call. And it's always important to get clearer and clearer and clearer on who your people are, and always be up-leveling as well. Because when we get too stuck on this is who my person is, we've been there for a while, we actually don't allow them to grow or believe that they're growing, right? And so however long you've been doing your business and showing up, the people that have been with you are also up-leveling. They're also growing in their own way. They're not just staying where they're at. So that's why it's really important to not continually, but at least once a year, do work around who your people are. And not just the people that you want to serve, but the people that it would be super activated by your message, right? And the people that it's you get up leveled by even speaking to this type of person. It up levels you because you don't want to stay where you're at. This is a game of transformation. This is a game of evolution. So if your people that you've picked are, and you've been in that for a while and you're no longer inspired, then perhaps you're also like stuck in a certain manifestation of yourself when you can actually grow by serving someone else, right? Okay, let's move on to number 5. So number 5, we're going into the pussy mastery pieces right now. So number 5 is eros, self-love, and sexual liberation is felt through a screen. So I know that a lot of you here are awake to your sexual power, to your sensuality, or on that journey right now. And the way that I see it is that once we unlock a lot of stuck shame around being a sensual and a sexual being, and it gets uplifted and uprooted from our systems. Yeah, eros, self-love, and sexual liberation is felt through a screen. And does everyone get it that time around? So it isn't about being sexual or being inherently sexual if that's not your most natural, but it is about awakening your sexual spirit within yourself, because yes, that's where creativity begins. That's where creativity begins. And also so I was on a call with a new client, I think she's here, and she was sharing with me that she's helping people with releasing the dogmas around food and nutrition and eating, and that's one of her deepest passions in a really holistic way. And at the end of the call, I told her, I don't know if you've been following me for that long, but I think 3 years ago, that's what I was doing. And it is of no surprise to me that someone who's leading and guiding others in a thing that I used to lead and guide others is in my space, right? And because my own embodiment of that piece is felt through the screen. And so she didn't necessarily know, she actually didn't know that I did that until we had this call, right? But it was felt. Some part of her soul recognized and realized that part of me had been liberated. So the part of myself that was obsessed with nutrition, obsessed with eating correctly and all of those things was simply felt through the screen. It was like a soul transmission. So when we, behind the scenes, do our own work on our sexuality and our sensuality and our pleasure, that is transmitted through the screen, and that is something that every single woman, whether she knows it or not, and person on this planet wants. Whether they know it or not, which most people do at this point, everyone wants to feel more pleasure, more sexual liberation, more aliveness in the way that they move sexual energy through their body. Everybody wants that. It is magnetic to see someone who is embodying that. It's attractive because you can feel the liberation. You can feel that nobody is sexually perfect on birth. Like, everyone has their own experiences with people, with the world, that creates shame, that creates distortion, that creates shutting down, that creates pain during sex. no one is immune to that, and everyone has different experiences with it. Everyone has their own soul lessons with sexuality, but ultimately everyone wants to feel that sexual liberation, and it is attractive, it is magnetic, because it invites others into it as well, even if they don't know it. Just like when you hold your prices, when you hold this is what my price is, that is also holding space for another person to be able to do that, right? I feel your liberation through the screen and it activates me. Yay. Yay. And I'm not perfect either, right? I'm totally not perfect at all, but it's my deepest devotion is to myself. I don't turn my phone on until at least 10:30 a.m. in the morning. I take the whole morning just for me, just for practice, just for ritual, and I come back to that space multiple times a day, because my ability to hold more people, my ability to hold an audience, a big audience, my ability to hold 100 people, 200 people in a course of mine is actually my ability to hold myself. It's my ability to hold all of my emotions. It's my ability to hold my intimate connections and really be operating from a queen space. It's my ability to hold any shame or release any shame, any fear in my system. So that's why this journey is such a sacred journey of personal transformation, because the more you open to hold more people, the more you get to hold yourself, your inner child, your slut, your whore, your sacred priestess. All parts of you start coming online, because if you want to hold more energy out here, you have to hold more around you, right? Rebecca Campbell said this as well. Amazing. Didn't know that. Yeah. And that's why you might need better boundaries too when you start holding more people as well. Yeah. So before we go on to the 6th, let's just take a break, everyone, and do some hip rolls, some hip movements, because we're sitting down talking for like a really long time and we want to get up and start moving a little. I don't know if you know this about me, but a lot of you here have been through my programs before, and I'm all about embodiment. So in the course that's about to start right now, it's like so business and so abundance consciousness and everything. And it's embodiment, because you can't have one without the other, from the organic place, from the magnetic place. Okay, so here's what I want everyone to do. I want everyone to stand up. And first, just take 2 deep breaths into your heart. And then exhale, let the arms come out. Just kind of like flop the arms as if anything can just release from them that needs to go. Do it again, a breath into the heart. And then open your arms like wings, and then just let anything go from there. And then I want you to take a breath into your womb space, into your pussy, and you're gonna do a puss up, as this is a term I got from Rosie Reese, but you're basically pulling up, okay? So you're gonna pull up on the inhale and hold. So hold your breath at the top, with imagining your breath filling up your womb space, and I just want you to rock your hips side to side, and if you need to exhale, do it. So we'll exhale now. And as you exhale, I just want you to imagine that your knees are opening wider. Better to do this without anything underneath, any thong on or whatever, underwear. So you're gonna imagine that your knees are opening wide, and like you're opening your yoni to surrender, okay, to relax, to be supple, okay? So you're gonna inhale into your womb, hold, and then you're just rocking, feeling some pleasure rise. There's so much pleasure in our hips. And again, you're imagining your knees are just opening, and you're just surrendering. And then exhale, just sink a little lower. And then shake that out if your legs are sore. We're gonna do it again. Okay, so you're moving into your knees a little, inhaling into your womb. Hold the breath and rock the hips, stirring the pot, stirring the energy in here, and just allow it to feel good. Allow it to move energy. Don't be worried about what it looks like. And then on the exhale, you're just going to imagine that your yoni is just surrendering open. So you drop that hold. And we're going to do just one more because it feels so good. Okay, inhaling into the womb, holding the breath at the top, swaying the hips. Almost like you have a cauldron in there. You're just stirring up some creativity. You're stirring up some love for yourself. And then exhale and just surrender your yoni. Surrender your knees open. Good. Whew. Yay. And the more we open ourselves sensually and sexually, guess what? The more we open ourselves for money and for abundance. Because the same thing that happens when you finally open your legs wide and say, yes, fuck me, is the same thing that happens when you open your doors for your course and you say, yes, get in here, come, it's amazing. It's the same thing. The more comfortable you are, fully opening to receive your pleasure, the more you can open to receive money. Right? Okay, cool. That felt good. Great. Felt so good to me too. Yeah. So yummy. Loved it. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so the sixth and final tool and key that I'm gonna give you here to grow your audience from an energetic perspective, right, is okay, how you feel when you hit send says it all. Now, here's the thing, and this is where the emotions come and play a role in here. So, if how you feel before you hit send onto a post or a video or a webinar, etc., matters so much, well, then what happens when you're not feeling good? Do you just not post? Do you not show up? What happens if you don't feel good for a couple days in a row? What do you do? Number 6 is how you feel when you hit send says it all. So when you're sending content out, the vibe that you're feeling within yourself matters so much right before. So again, answer that question for me. If some part of you knows this, well then what do? Do you not show up? Do you not show up to speak, to communicate, to get on video if you're having a hard day? What happens if you have a stomach ache and you were meant to get on a call? What do? What is your go-to solution? Because I just end up not posting, right? So here's the thing. If I didn't have all of the energetic tools that I have to move through the things that bring me out of alignment, I would totally not be here. Because here's the thing. Last night, I did not sleep well. And I remember thinking during the night, oh, I wish I was sleeping better. I wish I was sleeping better so that I could just wake up and feel refreshed because I know I have this master class, etc., etc., etc. But I am not a victim to my circumstances. But I also don't deny my feelings. So what did I do? This morning, I laid in bed for quite a long time, and I was just giving my body feather light touch and kind of rolling around and just feeling really yummy in bed. And I spent 3 hours in practice this morning. Now, I'm not saying that you need to do 3 hours every day, because some days you wake up and you're just there, right? But other times there's a block. Other times there's a fear. Other times there's insecurity. And all of that is not working against you. It's working for you. Because if you actually listen to it and give it space and time for it to show up, and you say, yes, I will feel you. Yes, I will go into you. You can, if you're willing, you can find the route out of that experience. Or the emotion just disconnects from the thing that you're feeling, and it doesn't, and it shifts form. Alyssa, I would say just show up as you are if you feel called to share that feeling. That's embodiment. Yes, show up as you are. But the thing is that a lot of people, okay, let me say what I want to say to that. So, it depends how that it actually feels for you. If it feels liberating to yourself and to the world and to everyone, the whole, to show up as you are and not do anything to kind of get through how you're feeling, then that's a route for you. But oftentimes what happens is that people don't allow themselves to go into how they feel, and then they don't do the thing that they wanted to do because they listen to that feeling. Also, showing up in a sort of vulnerable space or when something's coming up is not everyone's route. It's not everyone's desire. I personally like doing that sometimes, but I more so like the experience of really going in and doing a journey, like going into what's there. And that doesn't mean that I'm not loving myself in all of my phases and angles, but the way that I'm showing up on video right now would be very different if I did nothing this morning based on the way I woke up. If I woke up this morning after a bad night of sleep and I was just like, okay, I'm like not gonna do any of my practices and like this is just me, I wouldn't have a clear channel for my message. And so my commitment is to being a clear channel. And sometimes that clear channel is messy as fuck, but sometimes it is held together. And you get to find out what is the most aligned for you in any given moment. But what if I don't feel like I can show up sometimes? Well, we're not meant to show up. We're not meant to show up every single day, 24/7 of the year. We have to give ourselves rest. We have to give ourselves breaks. We have to take constructive rest. But the question is how often is that a habit? How often is that an excuse? How often is that not you not really looking at what's being asked to look at. How often is that you listening to fear versus truly listening to your body, and learning the difference between what is resistance to showing up versus what is my actual intuitive knowingness that I need to slow down and be with myself is a very important journey to go on. Yeah. Taylor says, I like the idea of working through it, and if it serves, you can then share about that experience, but instead of showing up in that funky space, you're showing up in alignment. Yeah, and sometimes it's really nice to show up not in alignment, because I feel like doing that is part of my practice in Instagram story, for example, to share my humanness. So I remember about a couple months ago, I did an Instagram story of me crawling on the floor, being like, I can't walk, because it was a creative, expressive, aligned version to show how I was really feeling, right? I was really doing that with my girlfriend. I was upstairs in our house and I was crawling on the floor being like, I'm all over the place. And then I did that because I thought that would be fun and creative, and it was actually me in alignment. So alignment doesn't mean everything is feeling perfect, happy, and powerful. That's not what alignment is. However, if you're pushing yourself to share when it doesn't actually feel good because you should show up, but you're actually not in alignment, that's when you get thrown off, right? That's when the energetics are funky, where you're like, fuck, I don't feel good, and I'm not gonna go into this, but I'm just gonna show up anyways. And then it feels like a force, it feels like willpower versus, oh, this is like what I wanna do. I wanna show people this. This will liberate people. If it's not gonna liberate people, then you know. Okay. Sky, would you say it's important to stay in that space with yourself until you feel better? So that's the commitment, right? That's the devotion that that is the devotion. And if you can also give yourself a time limit, right? So you can say, okay, I have 2 hours this afternoon, right? Doing that, you're creating a divine masculine container for your feminine to feel it all. Okay, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna do all of these practices. I fully believe in that. And then you give it to yourself, you're done. You snap out of it. You don't get lost there. You can even give yourself 10 minutes. Like sometimes I do that during the day. If I'm feeling really great and then all of a sudden something shifts, I'll say, okay, you have 10 minutes. And I fully go into it so that I have the embodied experience of freedom. And I don't get this thing stuck in myself that then I'm communicating with and from. Yeah. Taking responsibility for our energy and love. Yeah. I'm curious, what if the practices don't work that day or that week? Well, then you need a different practice. And what do you mean by work? Because when we do these things, it's not that we're, again, trying to become some angel that experiences no pain. We're wanting to get closer and closer to anything that we need to let go of, to feeling more in love with ourselves. Because, again, that's going back to number 5, which is that sexual liberation, self-love, and eros is felt through the screen. Right? So if you're committed to the eros, which is the life, the aliveness within your being, then you're committed to being a transmitter of that thing. And again, that doesn't mean that you can't be authentic and share all parts of yourself. I believe it's important to find all different parts of ourselves and liberate them all to be seen. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, just find a new practice if the practices you are not doing, that you are doing, are not working. Okay, I'm catching up on some of these comments. Okay. All right, so how you feel when you hit send says it all. So that's a big commitment. And it's not only just how you feel when you hit send says it all, but it's how you actually feel about what you're hitting send on. How you actually feel about your content. Because if you're reading the thing that you just wrote and you're going, well, then it's a no. You gotta feel good about it. It doesn't, every single one doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, this should be in a magazine, but you get to feel excited about it being sent out into the universe. Every time I've had the experience of, okay, this is pretty good, but yeah, I'm just gonna send it. It doesn't get the most engagement. It doesn't get the and again, when we have more engagement, it means that we have more trust with people. It means that people are available to witness us, to be around our space, to be receiving our transmissions, and they're way more likely to buy our products when they are experiencing the transmissions that are coming through us, right? And, it brings me to, and I think this is a really good place to close out all of the pieces that we're talking about, but consistency is very, very, very important. Consistency is very, very, very important. And so if we have this question, this last piece of how you feel when you hit send says it all, well, and consistency matters. We want to be consistent with our audience. Well, what does that bring us to? It brings us to the fact that our deepest devotion and consistency has to be toward feeling good. It has to be toward being an embodiment of the person that we want to be. Our commitment and our devotion has to be toward feeling good if we want to be consistent. And that wraps up the whole piece, the whole thing that we're talking about. And I want each and every one of you to feel this fulfillment of having an engaged audience, because it hurts to not, it hurts to be bringing all of your transmissions through and to hear crickets, I've definitely had that experience. I created this masterclass from a place of the remembrance of that phase where I was like, what is going on? What is going on? I'm posting every day. I'm getting on video. I'm showing up. What's wrong? Why aren't people engaged? Why am I only getting a couple comments? Yeah, my audience is growing a little bit, but it's not engaged. And so I created these 6 pieces out of all of the things that I did. All of the things that I did to create a very engaged audience. And thank you all for being here and being a very clear manifestation of all of these points. So know that this feeling of community, this feeling of, it's very clear that everyone here is speaking a similar language. Everyone here is, there's a thread of aliveness here, and it's because these 6 pieces are embodied in me. So my invitation for you is to write them down. I can send them through to you on this video as well after we end. Just type them through. Write them down. Allow yourself to align to them, because nothing shifts from just watching one video. It's you. It's not me. I'm not going to activate any of these things in you. You're going to choose to do that for yourself, right? Yeah, you're going to choose to allow yourself to find the deeper meaning in them all. So for example, when I'm sharing the piece around your sexual liberation and your sensuality, that's not going to be fully real for you until you really feel it, until you actually allow your sexual liberation inside of yourself to fill up your system with power. When you feel that power, that code starts translating, right? So you have to be committed to that path. You also have to be committed to the energetic alignment path, to the looking at the path of, okay, here's how I feel right now. What am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with it? And yeah, but you have the tools now, and it's up to you. It's up to you. And I want to share at the end here that my program, Field Channel Receive, the doors are open for just 2 more days. I don't know if any of you have been watching the launch, but I made the end of the launch this Friday, which is tomorrow. So if this super deeply resonated, and if you want to go deeper into the energetic tools as well as all of the practical tools, I know a lot of you on this live also asked me a ton of questions on the live, but because it is a masterclass, it's not a space to answer all of the questions. But if you're in my group programs, I go into all of your Q&A and everything. So this is 30 days. Yeah, so many of you who are here with us are already in the program. We have an amazing group. Oh, yes. So many of you commenting that you are excited for Field Channel Receive. I'm really excited. Okay, so the first program I ever launched 5-ish years ago was called Sexy Self-Care, and it was 28 days of self-care practices that I sent to people's emails, and they got a video of a self-care practice and a new recipe and an affirmation and whatnot. And for whatever reason, I haven't launched another 30-day program. And so that's like, that was so long ago, it almost doesn't even count. It does count, but my excitement for this 30-day experience is that I am fully bringing it. I'm bringing you the practical tools and all of the, sales material that I have, like all the things that actually guide you with the practical, which is really the easiest part. And then the energetic tools, the sensual expression tools, the sex magic, the emotional release tools that allow you to move through how to tell resistance from intuition, right? So we're really going in. We're going to do lots of live calls with Q&A, but the format is that you get in your inbox every day, unless we're having a live video, you get the code of the day, and it's anything from abundance consciousness and helping you align yourself to receive more money, to actual business steps and tools, helping you really decide what your package is. I am also course baby, so we're going to be designing a course for you, and you can design a course for your one-on-one container, or you can design a group course depending on where you're at in your business. And there are women inside that are just starting, and then women inside who've been in business for 5 years. So it's really about upgrading where you're at, getting different tools every day, being in my energy, being in the sphere of this vibe. This vibe is so good, and I'm so grateful for all of you who are saying, can't wait, and just for being here as well, and showing up for yourself. And yeah, so if you are curious, if you're interested in Field Channel Receive, just send me a private message right now telling me that you want the link, and I can send it to you and answer any questions that you have. And I think that's it. This is the masterclass. Again, I am so elated that so many of you are here. Just also, since I have so many of you with me live now, I want to celebrate one thing that up-leveled within you through being here. So if it's one word or one sentence or an emoji that describes it, I want to hear and feel what this masterclass opened up for you. Ready, set, go. And then we're gonna leave. And I'm gonna take a sip of my juice because I forgot that I had it. One word or one phrase, deep knowing, yes. Sinking into that I am needed, yes. Authenticity, commitment. We are all needed, yes. So if any of you who are typing in that you want the link, send me a private message. It's gonna be way easier for me to just get you the link. Motivated. Clients are a path to the divine. There is no other option. Authenticity is the magic. Prioritizing pleasure, getting out of the feeling of needing to work 24/7 in order to create success. Yes, please. Doing what we would do when our audience has arrived, acting as if. Yes, 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 yes. There's nothing wrong with you. Yes, your message is needed. Devotion to service, devotion to you first. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that all of you have these codes in you. Showing up to serve. Nobody can transmute what I can. Yeah. Owning my energy. Can't serve anybody if I don't serve myself first. Yes, clients are a path to the divine. Oh, so amazing. It feels so good. Yeah. Send me a Facebook message since we're on Facebook right now. Yeah, that I can integrate my sensual desires into the truth I speak into the world. What is being asked of me. Yep. Amazing, loves. Well, thank you so much for being here and for being a part of this and for bringing your vibe and your energy. And if anyone is interested, curious, has questions about Field Channel Receive, feel free to send me a message. Again, doors are closing tomorrow, and yeah, we're gonna start. I'm so excited for everyone who's in there. Everyone's like, can we start already? There's 55 amazing souls in there already. I know I'm on the right path. Yes, you are. You're so welcome. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day. Sending you all